announced in September that we were going to update that prior to moving to final feasibility study. So we are looking at a few optimizations. We hope to have that PFS update out before the end of the year or very early next year.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is George Bee. He's the CEO of US Gold Corp. And George, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Great, Steve. Very good. Over here in the UK, in England, and doing well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, attending the Mines and Money show, and lots to talk about there is what we're going to talk about here as well. As you've just secured $10.2 million in funding to advance the CK Gold project. So first off, congratulations on this. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, yeah, we've done all the heavy lifting on the project. I think investors are aware we've been fairly tight with our share register and balance sheet. What that 10.2 million does is allows us to get through to essentially financing of the CK Gold project. We're fully funded through that, and we can finalize our PFS update, our feasibility study, and move towards funding for the project development.
Yeah, that part of it, the funding development, obviously is a key one to get off there. You also had to get a permit as well, was the last one you needed, and that one has been secured as well. So you mentioned you're fully permitting. Getting that last air quality one, I'm sure was a great relief to the company.
Yeah, look, we got the mine operating permit. We were very confident about getting the last of the three conditions associated with that mine operating permit, and that was the air quality permit that we got last month. And now we are fully permitted, and that really puts us in a unique position. Not too many permitted projects in safe, stable jurisdictions, and we're really happy to be in Wyoming.
Yeah. So obviously there's some reports that you're working on right now. Is that really the next focus for the company now that all this stuff is behind you, George?
Well, look, we put out a pre-feasibility study in December of 2021, and we announced in September that we were going to update that prior to moving to final feasibility study. So we are looking at a few optimizations. We hope to have that PFS update out before the end of the year or very early next year, and then although we've done a lot of the heavy lifting on the feasibility study, complete that in the new year. So that's where we're at the moment. So stay tuned for news on certainly the PFS update and moving into feasibility and project financing.
Yeah, and lastly, George, just on that sort of next stages, I would imagine that the project, and we've talked about this in the past about where it's located, what regulatory body you have to deal with. All those are real positives as you sort of take these next steps.
No, absolutely, Steve. We we see that there's certainly a supply side crunch. There's a lot of interest as we've got increasing gold and copper prices. But I think we're one of the few projects in a stable jurisdiction which are essentially ready to go. So we've got lots of interest. We'll be producing a really good copper gold concentrate, which will be in very much demand. So looking forward to moving through these next steps.
Absolutely. Wyoming, the place to be these days, that's for sure. George,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. Great to get an update from you on what's going on. Enjoy the rest of Mines and Money, and we'll talk when you get back, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Steve.
All right, George Bee, the CEO of US Gold Corp.